and right away we are seeing that Thresh band out, seeing how powerful it was, and we are also seeing a Rise band come out as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a targeted ban towards the mid lane. And Thresh, because they don't want to see him again. No question they don't want to see it again. He just does way too much. I'm kind of surprised they haven't nerfed his numbers a little bit, just due to he gets everything. And there's a Lulu ban. Yeah, they're targeting these bans pretty hard. Diana also banned out right away.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if we actually see a global comp come out now that some of those global champions aren't banned.
yeah. Unless TF or Shen gets banned out, one of the I wouldn't be surprised to see one or the other because they do have just add so much. What their job is. They add so much map pressure that it's kind of a hard pick to miss up on. So they're they trolled us. There's the Shen and TF bans. We are not seeing any global pressure coming out. So we just got duped that they did, ban those, which is two very smart bans. And it looks like blue team is looking at Zyra right now.
I think it'd be a good choice for the mid lane. I don't think they're going to use it as support. She's definitely a much better mid laner at this point.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of fell out of... Wow, instantly. Rengar and Nami coming out. Two very, very unconventional picks. Nami has been getting buff after buff after buff like crazy, so I'm sure she has definitely gotten a lot better. I know her Q cooldown is still really high, but, if you can hit that properly, her other skills have gotten buffed really nicely. Her ult got a new increase in how fast it goes off. Her E, the duration it slows for, also got buffed. So I'm really interested to see how many people decide to start learning or mastering Nami as she becomes more and more popular.
I've seen her get really popular in Korea, and that's where she first found her kind of home. Just due to the fact she has a lot of CC, she has that lane sustain, and she has a built-in almost red buff. And her ultimate's also incredibly powerful.
Yep,
Rengar is also picked up as he's just ability to roam around the map, and people like seeing him. He's played in the jungle a lot more than top lane, just due to the fact he's just a little too weak early game in the top side.
Yeah, and that Cassiopeia pick is actually Volibear. So another remake we're gonna have. So that is right now the team's actually gonna be Ezreal, Zyra, and Volibear, not Cassiopeia. So
I'm kind of sad because Cassiopeia is one of my favorite champions, and she just does so much damage. But it looks like we are gonna have Varus and Kennen picked up.
So I wonder, is this gonna be a Rengar jungle or is this gonna be a top lane Rengar?
I would have to say jungle. I like it in the jungle better than I like it top lane, but either choice is perfectly fine at this point.
Yep. And Varus Nami, I have not seen that lane. That's a very I've honestly never seen those two paired together. It looks like we're gonna have Riven and Ahri selected right now. Riven is really snowbally, so that's kind of the gist of Riven for the most part. When you lock him in, you want to get that fourth pot, get either the race or the wolves, and get that early level 2 and try and kind of cheese it with the stun, bop your fourth pot, and then just burst them down and get ahead and snowball it from there. We also have the Ahri pick coming out, which is going to be against, I forgot because they changed the game, but Ahri overall is kind of that, push the lane up when you hit 6 and go roam with your ult and try and get in there and hit your charm and catch them and kill them. So really interesting comps coming out here. I like the combo of Volibear and Ahri anyway. That can make way for an easy level 2. If Ahri were to hit a charm at level 2, Volibear flips them back, and I'm pretty sure that could be an easy first blood if they execute it properly.
The interesting thing here is the last pickup was a Blitzcrank. So we're going to have possibly either a jungle or top lane Blitzcrank. Unless we're doing a solo Nami, but I don't think Nami's that great in a solo role. She just doesn't have enough things that scale with ability power.
Yeah, I mean, I know, you can usually play some supports AP. I've seen jungle Blitzcrank on occasion, and it works okay. I mean, I know in solo queue, Shake Drizzle likes to play it a lot, the montage maker, but other than that, I can't see it being, very, very effective. I know Fnatic ran it one time as well. Then a few LCS games a long time ago, they ran it with like Blitzcrank and Leona, and it worked out. They won the game with it, but once again, we're talking about one of the top teams in the world. So unless they know this guy is a well-oiled machine on Blitzcrank in the jungle, I'm not exactly sure how that matchup will work out.
I don't know. I just like it for the fact it's a Blitzcrank, and it's really hard to go wrong with a Blitzcrank pick. They have decent setup for it, as they've got multiple slows down bottom. They've got Kennen in the mid lane. You can get a stun off, then land the hook, and you have Rengar up top with a slow and a root who can set up the hook very nicely. I like the decision. It's kind of different, and we're going to see how it actually works out. I haven't seen him in the jungle very much. He has the right tools to do it, but
I mean, I can see it being kind of gimmicky almost. But, yeah, I don't know what will. I'm really surprised because Kennen's probably going to lane. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what this is going to be. So, really excited. Like I said, I like seeing the innovation that these guys come up with. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But either way, it is really fun to see unique styles coming out.
yeah, and it's interesting to see how the Zyra is going to work out as well. Because she has the ability to really stop team fights. She can land a good set of roots. And that'll really stop Kennen from going in. It'll stop Rengar from getting a good jump off. But that is a lot of CC coming out on the purple side. And I'm not sure how they're going to be able to deal with it. Just due to the fact, if you get caught out, you're dead. They're going to stun lock you for 5+ seconds, chaining all those crowd control effects together. It's going to be pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, also, with the, like you're saying, the Nami Q, they have Blitzcrank Q, they have Varus ult, they have, Kennen to get his stuff off, they have the Bola strike from Rengar. So they're going to have a lot of ways to lock down these guys. They're really going to have to be, constantly moving back and forth trying to dodge all these skills, because all it takes is one guy to get caught to completely ruin an impending team fight.
Oh, for sure. And I don't think there's going to be a good way to really engage on the side of the blue team. They've got the Volibear who could try and engage, but you're engaging into that much CC. Same thing with Ahri Charm. You're engaging into that much crowd control, and if you're that open, you're likely to get knocked up or pulled in. And it's really going to be hard to find that opening where you can make something happen, unless you're far enough ahead where you don't worry about it, and you just say, hey, we're going to let Volibear get pulled in there and soak all the damage in the world.
And, the only problem I see with purple side is they're not really incredibly tanky. Rengar can go tank, I guess, and so can Kennen can get kind of beefy. But other than that, I don't see, them having too much beef when it comes to these team fights. That's kind of a plus I can kind of see for blue. Volibear is like the god of all tanks. So if he can get in there, get, his Warmogs and Randians and Lockett and whatnot, I think he can, be that one tank to, soak up like a sponge a lot of that damage for the blue side.
Yeah, another thing is a lot of mobility. Is they have Ahri and Ezreal who can both kind of jump around the fight, and they have the mistress of mobility in Riven. So they could jump around and possibly just kind of play keep away during these engagements and avoid the big ultimate combos, as a Kennen ultimate, Nami ultimate, and a Varus ultimate really have to be dodged. Those are all massive CC ultimates on top of the Blitz ultimate, which is even more crowd control. It is just going to be ridiculously hard for the blue side to get anything done unless they're far enough ahead where they're actually safe and where they can soak up that 20 to 30 seconds of crowd control, or at least that's what it's going to feel like coming out on the purple team side.
Yeah, I mean, blue team is really going to have to be, alert and, ready to, get their dodge boots on and the dance boots and whatnot to, dodge a lot of the stuff. Because I've played Nami a few times. That Q is really, really tricky to play, but I've played against some Namis that are just gods at it. Like, they just know exactly the speed of it, where they're really good at predicting. And when you get hit by it, I mean, you're floating up in the air for about, 1 to 2 seconds, and it really catches you off guard and allows for that AD carry to probably get off, some skills and a good amount of auto attack. So you really have to be aware of where Nami is and where that bubble is coming at you.
Yeah, you really need that setup slow, and they have that in Varus. But as a fairly powerful AoE slow, they can just throw that, then land the Nami Q, knock them up, and go from there. We're going to take a quick commercial break, then we will be in game. Thank you for watching. This is a Pro Scrim from the NESL Thank you for watching, and enjoy this commercial. Alright, I believe we are back.
Hola, hola.
Yep. And not a lot of skins coming out there, though we do have that crazy Blitzcrank skin.
I hate that skin. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
The Q on it, it's yeah.
Yeah, you can see the hand just fine, but you like the tether to kind of know where it's going.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting idea for a skin. You've got the really cool Nami skin as well.
Yeah, I really like that. I think they did a great job on that one.
Oh yeah, and the Wildfire Zyra, because everyone loves Fiery Plant. Interesting choice to go here with the barrier on Ezreal. Just due to the fact there's so much CC that could lock him down. And I think he's really going to either have to just play perfectly and avoid it all, or be dead. That's pretty ridiculous why he wouldn't go with something like Cleanse this game, but we shall see if it actually works out for him.
Yeah, we are actually seeing your speculation was correct. This is going to be a jungle Blitzcrank. So he did bring Ghost, and it can't be. I can see the ganks being very potent. Even if they flash, you can pull them right back in and knock them up, or they can run right up to you, and then if you try and get away, Q you right back in. So if you can execute it properly, time the stuff in a well-mannered fashion, I really think jungle Blitzcrank with a skilled person on the mouse, it can really become effective.
Oh, definitely, especially if they can set up Blitzcrank well, because that's what the real big thing is. If they can set up Blitzcrank so that he gets an easy hook, this game's going to be over in a matter of seconds. And the question is, will they invade now? And I don't know if they want to until at least 130, 140.
Yeah, last time we saw both sides were being kind of passive about it. They didn't really want to be too aggressive about it. Though there is a Blitzcrank and a Nami, who both have that ability to lock down. It looks like they actually might wind up meeting each other here. There is 4 here for blue.
Ooh, nicely placed ward. Blitzcrank had an opportunity, but he just didn't want to start with the hook, or wasn't paying perfect attention. But it looks like we are going to have a bunch of pings coming out. Just kind of a bit of trolling around on the early game.
And pretty much just passiveness coming out. We do see for the items kind of our usual starts. We actually do have a fort pot coming out on Ezreal, which is somewhat common, not so much on AD carries. It's really, it's to bait and turn it around. For our mid laners, Rengar is actually going to be, I think, in the mid lane, and he also has a fort pot as well. So once again, waiting for that bait again. So, Ahri did a nice job of predicting that it would be Rengar mid and did get that cloth armor. They are going to probably give Blitzcrank at least Smiteless. Volibear as well. I'm really looking to this Volibear to be the the X factor for blue. He's such a powerful, disruptive jungler, and if played correctly, he can really just wreck an entire team. So we're really gonna have to see how he does as well.
I like the decision for both top and mid laner to start with the cloth armor, as Kennen does a lot of attack damage early game. He just auto attacks, and uses his skills to farm half the time. And it's a good idea. And even against Rengar, he's going to get some good auto attack harassment off of you, or at least some attacks with Ebola. So they both had to be prepared for either lane, and the cloth armor just gives him that extra protection. And they'll both be building it into some decent items later on.
Yeah, and the thing with Kennen is, some of the Kennen players I see, they start in Doran's raids just for the early poke that you get, and then later on, as it switches over to the mid to late, they start going for the AP for their ultimate damage. So that's kind of the point of Kennen is to, abuse these poor top laners with his passive on his W and the nice auto attack range he has. So we're really going to have to see how Riven can do against all that poke in that lane.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually get something done. Blitzcrank does come up top, gets a nice hook in, and there's going to be first blood. Excellent hook there by Blitzcrank. Good patience to wait until he actually used his mobility ability. And it's pretty terrible for the side of Force, as Riven's going to be too far behind to lane against Kennen for long.
Yeah, luckily for her, though, Blitzcrank was the one that picked up the kill, so Kennen did not get all the gold. And we actually have another gank coming down in the mid lane.
Looks like Blitzcrank is going to come there, and we'll get the knock up. And with the red buff, I don't see anything Ahri can do. She might get a decent flash off, but no chance. She was just absolutely slaughtered. Excellent decision by Blitzcrank to wait on the hook. Don't give her time to dodge it. Just run up there with your ghost, knock him up, and use the red buff slow to line up a perfect hook later on.
And Blitzcrank is doing a fantastic job of not like you're saying, prematurely shooting his Q. The only thing I see hurting Blitzcrank later on is if he's going to go ahead, and I don't know if he's going to keep the blue buffs, assuming he will because Rengar does have no mana. But once that blue buff wears off, Blitzcrank's pretty, with the recent nerfs to his, Q where it costs a lot more to use, he's going to really have to be on point with his Qs in these because he's going to go home really, really fast, and he's going to have to constantly, back to make sure he can come back and be able to be effective necessarily.
Looks like Kennen's going to be jumping in onto Riven top. Riven gets a nice stun. It looks like Volibear's come down bottom, but they aren't going to be able to get anything off. Varus in a bit of trouble, but I don't think we're going to see anything as we just see a nice Aqua Prison from Nami. Keeping that lane in favors. Looks like Volibear's going to come again and does get the flip on Varus this time, but Varus does flash away. Excellent timing by him. Great reaction speed to get away from that roots of Zyra. And this is yet another game where Sin Park is really taking control of the early game.
Yeah, they already have a nice gold lead. They got their mid and top lanes ahead really, really quickly. Right now, Riven is slowly but surely falling further and farther behind Kennen. He's already 10 full minions behind, level behind, and probably a lot of gold behind, considering that he got the assist gold from the first blood. So, that lane to start with is already going to be pretty brutal for him. And right now we're going to have a little bit more engaged coming down, and he's just getting poked down really, really hard. He's going to have to go back soon, which is going to cause him to go even farther behind than he already is.
Yeah, this Kennen has just played really aggressively, and that early gank by Blitzcrank was really perfect. And the big thing is Blitzcrank picked up both the kills, so Blitzcrank already has those boots of mobility. He'll be running across the map so fast with his overdrive on. I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him. It looks like Blitzcrank was able to scout out Volibear there, and he might be going in onto that Ahri. Ahri's in a bit of trouble. It does get the knock up. Rengar with the slow, and Blitzcrank misses the hook.
See, and that's what we're talking about, with the jungle Blitzcrank. Look how much that took out of him. The Q cost, how much did it cost? 120 mana with only a 400 overall mana pool. Plus his E is another 25, his W is 75. So for this to, work properly, he basically has one more QE left in him before he's going to have to.
It looks like he's going to use it up top as Kennen does get a good ultimate off, but Kennen's taking a lot of damage from tower, and he will go down. 1-for-1 trade, as it looks like Rengar was able to finish off Ahri in the mid lane. Volibear doing some good damage to Rengar, as Rengar is going to be able to jump away perfectly safe. But they did pick up a kill on the side of Force. Overall, not a terrible engagement. But it looks like we are going to have another fight in the mid lane as Volibear is going to take Blitzcrank misses the hook, and Volibear should be able to walk out just fine. Down bottom, Ezreal is doing some decent harassment, but Nami heals, and Zyra doesn't. And when you heal, you're always going to be in a bit of a better position, just due to the fact you have more health.
Yeah, and Blitz, the two ganks really just did a beautiful job. He hit both of them on the mark. He got his lanes ahead, and that really, put them in an awkward position to start off that far behind. Is really damaging, and it lowers your morale of your team overall if you see your team get, 2-0 so quickly. Also, I want to mention that top lane dive, Riven hit a really, really nice stun onto Kennen when he was diving her under turret. She stunned him and did allow herself to be able to pick up a kill, which probably helped her get back into the lane a little bit. So really nice job coming out from there. Some positive things coming out from blue side.
Yeah, they're not out of this by any means. They're only down 2,000 gold at this point. And they have the opportunity to make a comeback in this mid game, as we do see a nice Aqua Prison by Nami, but Ezreal is there. Volibear going to come in there, and I don't think he's going to be able to get onto Varus. Just not fast enough. He could have flashed and possibly got a fling, but he didn't want to waste it. And this Volibear just hasn't been able to find those lanes to gank. He's had some opportunities, but he's just not getting them. He's a little bit behind. And it looks like Blitzcrank's going to come down bottom, get a nice knockup onto Zyra. And it looks like we are going to Blitzcrank in a bit of trouble. Zyra taking very low. Varus will be able to finish her off, as Volibear is doing a ton of damage. Ultimate by Nami flies as he does pop the exhaust. And it will be Blitzcrank going down. Volibear doing some real work now. And it looks like Ezreal is going to come up there and is able to finish off Varus, looking to finish off Nami as well. And I think he will at some point. But Riven has stabilized up top. And it looks like Ezreal will actually get this kill. And that's what they needed to turn this around.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Zyra did a nice job there of kind of like slowing them down originally. And oh, Rengar's gonna come in, he's gonna flash, oh, and he is gonna stop Ezreal. And Ezreal is gonna get taken down. A beautiful job from Rengar, aka.
It looks like Kennen up top is gonna be able to pick up a kill onto Riven, just popping that ultimate and doing way too much damage. As I thought Riven was gonna have an opportunity to come back, she just got stomped with that Kennen ultimate.
Yeah, and that was just a really nice map awareness coming out from Zamphira. He blew his ulti. He knew that he was not going to have enough time if he didn't flash. He flashed, was able to get him right as he was recalling at the end there. And a really nice pickup for him. He is now 2-0-1, sitting in a very, very good spot. Going back to that fight though, Ezreal was able to pick up 2 kills for, I believe, 1 overall. So Ezreal now is probably going to have a nice advantage coming into the bottom with that extra kill on him. And actually, I'm taking my words back because that he just has the extra kill, but he's only at 48 CS compared to the 75 of Varus. So those kills did help, but that did not, if anything, it brought him back to even. He is not ahead in the slightest.
It looks like he's going for a Trinity Force, which is a rather interesting build instead of something like that early Bloodthirster we usually see. In the mid lane, we do have a bit of action, as it looks like Volibear is going to try and come up, but he doesn't actually get anything off. Blitzcrank, a little too low mana to engage. But he's just so fast around the map, they can't really deal with him very well.
Yeah, and he's just having a bunch of trouble. Even with the advantage that Blue Side did get from winning that fight with, Ezreal getting a double there, they're still really, really behind. They're still going to probably need another game. A little bit of action going on to the top lane. I really feel like Riven could probably give him.
Looks like Blitzcrank's going to come down bottom. We do get a nice ultimate from Varus, chaining that perfectly. Zyra does get a good ultimate, but it's not going to be enough to save Ezreal, as he will get taken out. Blitzcrank coming again from the side. Volibear's going to come down here, but nice Aqua Prison means that Volibear's going to have to back up. Rengar down here as well, and they might try and dive this Zyra, who is in a lot of trouble. Rengar does not have his ultimate for a few seconds, so it'll be hard to dive. And I think he's going to play it safe for the moment. Ahri is down here, and they're just going to push the tower.
Yep.
And it looks like, yeah, there's dead Zyra. She stayed just a little too long. Volibear not able to get going, as Varus slow, just a little too strong. And so far, this has been Sin Park doing an excellent job. Ezreal ultimate flies, but doesn't actually get anything done. Sin Park's just been a little too aggressive here, and it's paid off.
Big fight going on with top lane once again. Nothing really different happened in Riven. Dead again. More going on in the bot lane. Volibear going down.
And it looks like we are going to have Ahri possibly pick up a kill on Rengar. She does actually get that kill as Ezreal does come in. Will he get a Phage proc is the question. And he does not get one in time. Or no, he actually gets one on Varus a little late. Varus does flash away, but he should be perfectly fine. Overall, a win for Sin Power, because this top lane is just completely snowballed, and Riven can't really do anything about this Kennen at the moment. Blitzcrank coming down bottom, but a nice charm by Ahri means that Ahri will get taken out, but she might actually be trading her life, as there's a nice Phage proc, and Ezreal will be able to pick up the kill. 6-12 is the score at about 12:30.
Yeah, right now we're just seeing, Blitzcrank did go in there and did get the Ahri. Not sure if it was worth it, but he did pick her up. But the problem right now I'm seeing is last time we saw with this team, the bot lane got destroyed. This game, it's the top lane getting destroyed. Riven is in the opposite position that she wants to be in right now. Riven is, that snowball champion where you're supposed to, maybe get a cheesy kill at level 2 or get a kill once you hit 6 with your broken wings. And she is just getting absolutely dominated by Kennen. She is severely, severely behind in CS. She's down in kills. She has 4 deaths. She's down in items. She's really, 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 really having a hard time up there. You know, Volibear might need to get involved up there before it just gets too out of hand and Kennen becomes too beefy for the blue side to handle.
And I would almost be worried about him getting enough damage that he can just sit. They can actually start sieging on the side of Sen Park. If they can start sieging, where Kennen can pick up that Rise Crystal Scepter and the Leandri's Torment, those sieges end real quick with Kennen just dominating everyone. Because he doesn't need mana. He's got that Shuriken, which is fired off every few seconds, and it looks like Varus is going to take the best of Zyra here. Get her very low, but a nice ultimate by Zyra will actually mean Varus goes down. Ezreal is going to be able to fight down bottom against Nami, and I should be able to... No, he's not going to be able to pick up the kill. Kennen up top doing a good job of actually staying alive versus Riven and Volibear. And it looks like Kennen will just be able to farm safely. Decent gank there, but a great turnaround thanks to that beautiful Zyra ultimate.
Yeah, really nice job there. She's been hitting, you know, some really nice ultis, saving Ezreal on occasion, and even if she's not saving him, she's been right on the mark with him. Can't fault her for anything that has gone wrong so far in this game. Blitzcrank is actually making his way down into this bottom bush. Evidently, that bush is warded, so unless Ezreal really gets out of position, I don't think he is going to be able to get grabbed here.
Yeah, this bottom lane is working out much better this game. And it's about even. It's only about 20 CS difference. Looks like Volibear's going to come up top, and we are going to have Riven diving in there. And will he be able to pick up the kill and Kennen? No.
Oh!
Windslash just out of range. Kennen staying alive, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold this tower much longer. He just doesn't have the health to do so. And with Volibear and Riven here, they could easily dive him under tower. And it looks like they're going to try as he does flash forward on Volibear, and Volibear will get out of there, but Riven is actually safe. She didn't take tower aggro, interestingly enough, and it looks like Riven is in a lot. She might go down here. Nice decision to just back up. Let Volibear come in there and finish it off. And with that red buff, they should be able to pick him off. Finally, they take him down. Excellent chase there. Blitzcrank is going to come up top, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Yeah, nowhere close, as they were both way behind the tower before Blitzcrank even gets up there.
Yeah, so nice job up there, finally, you know, being careful. And wow, Rengar actually taking a lot of damage from Ahri in the mid lane, completely getting bursted down all the way down to just about 280 health. Beautiful job I heard there, but it does just show us how far ahead Kennen is in that top lane, that it took literally like a 30-second chase to be able to kill him, and he still almost double killed them. So they're really gonna still have to keep more pressure down on this top lane, I think, unless they, you know, they really want Kennen to get out of hand.
Looks like Blitzcrank does land a nice hook onto Ahri, and Ahri will be taken fairly low, but I don't think Blitzcrank has the damage to actually finish her off. This looks like Volibear is going to come down bottom. Nice roots by Zyra, setting up things nicely, but there's the ultimate by Nami. Wow. And she gets the Aqua Prison onto Volibear. Perfectly played, and that's just what Nami can do. She has a lot of CC and a lot of engage and disengage tools, which is exactly what you want in a support.
Yeah, extremely impressive play right there. The ult, however, did miss the Volibear. I thought they might get flipped. Then right on the edge of that bubble, Volibear did get knocked up, and it instantly stopped the engage coming down onto that bot lane. Nami's been doing a great job of hitting these ultimates, either for engage or disengage, and she's really doing a good job of keeping Varus, you know, under her wing and supporting him all the way.
Yeah, and that's one of those things about Nami is, if she's ahead, she can really keep you ahead. And she's done just that, keeping Varus in good shape, even though the bottom lane is fairly even, other than Nami being up pretty significantly in terms of assists. Looks like we are going to have a gank up top at some point in the near future. Blitzcrank is just waiting for Riven to misstep, or waiting for the minions, and Riven's in a lot of trouble as Blitzcrank runs up here. Super fast speed. Kennen's going to pop the ultimate, and that's a dead Riven. Blitzcrank does take a good bit of damage in the process, so he might go down if he finds Volibear here in the jungle. As Volibear looks to run up there, and will find Blitzcrank, gets the flip, and he will have the bite, and he will be finished off. Excellent map awareness, and a bit of a greedy play there by Blitzcrank. Are going to be coming up top, but not in time. Kennen way too fast.
And, you know, she does actually have her ult up. No, it's Kennen's too far. She actually is going to blow it. She's going to whip the charm, and that's basically just a waste of her ulti. Rengar is up here as well. He's going to try and get some engage down.
And looks like Will, and Ahri gets absolutely destroyed. Top tower goes down in the process, and we are going to have this Rengar in an excellent position, being almost the lead farmer on the map at 137 minions, just behind Varus at 142. So Varus takes a lot of damage down bottom. Nice ultimate comes out from Zyra. Ezreal is exhausted, but there's the ultimate from Nami. And that should almost end the engagement, as we do have Riven up top getting absolutely slaughtered by Kennen. And Rengar. Rengar will be able to jump. No, he doesn't actually. He does. He just flashes forward and takes out Riven. And it looks like Kennen's going to be able to finish off Volibear and not get taken down himself. Down bottom, everyone got low, but no kills were actually exchanged.
Yeah, I'm surprised, you know, in that top they wanted to fight again. You know, Ahri had just gotten blown up by Rengar, and then they send Rengar and, they send Volibear and Riven right back, and with Riven being so far behind, and they lose another 2 kills to that. Blitzcrank is on his way down here, and it looks like he is going to get the full onto Zyra.
This Blitzcrank has really done work, and even though it's kind of a trolley pick, it works out really well. As he's a good bruiser, he has great base stats, and his hook is always valuable. He's just found those kills, and I like this decision, even though I do think he's going to be banned out, as it looks like we are going to have the first dragon of the game going down here at about 19 minutes.
Yeah, and the bot lane actually has not done a bad job. You know, Blitzcrank is pretty much the reason that red side has had a little bit of the advantage in the red bot lane, because he has been so effective in, hitting those poles and causing disruption. But overall, compared to last game, this is a stellar showing right now for bot. Ezreal has hit all of his ultis this game. Zyra has been right on the mark with her fans and her stuns. Her ultis have been really nice. So overall, very nice job done. Kind of a comeback for this bot lane comparatively, and it looks like we do have, what it looks to be maybe a starting of the grouping. It is hitting that 20-minute mark. Maybe we'll start to see the round of dance in the mid lane. The mid tower for the blue side is sitting about half life right now, so maybe the red side will start to put some pressure down onto that. Riven is pushing onto the top, and she is going to have to be careful because Kennen and Blitzcrank are making their ways up there.
I don't think she's under any trouble unless Kennen just decides to pop his ultimate and kill her. But I think he really needs that ignite. It looks like we do have a bit of a disconnect, as Blitzcrank will come up there, and yeah, I don't think she's going to live. And that disconnect probably helped her out because, yeah, that Blitzcrank was really charging. And if she was not this far back already, she might have been dead already. But instead, she's back in a okay position, not good, but okay. If she comes back in time, she might be able to land a perfect stun, then just kind of dash out with her flash. So that disconnect actually helping out for once.
Yeah, and then, I don't know if they're just gonna let him walk away or what, but I think even if he was there, they don't think that's warded even that river. So I think Blitzcrank would have gotten in there. Volibear, you can see, is making his way up there, but I think if they were to go onto this ribbon, she would just instantly die, and actually Volibear would die because Rengar also coming up as well. We are 20 minutes and 15 seconds into this game. Score is 9-17 in favor of the red side. Gold is 31.9 to 24.7. Just one turret down though, so this game is far from over. We get over to Pander and give some of his analysis of the game so far.
Yeah, I'm really liking the choice of Sin Park to just play all out aggressive. They have a lineup to do so. Blitzcrank has been absolutely stellar throughout the entire match, and he's just kind of snowballed his team, and that's what this is. Sin Park on the red side, getting a good snowball going, and that's something Force just has to work on if they want to improve. Work on kind of stopping early aggression and not getting run over when they play just hyper aggressive. I mean, this has been ridiculously aggressive on the side of Sin Park, but they're making it work, and you can beat a lot of mid to low tier teams by just playing super aggressive and throwing them off their game, because that's how you get up to this level. Is you don't play passive, you don't sit back and wait for 40 minutes and just kind of hope you have a team fight edge or hope you find a pick off. You play it by making those plays early, and that's what Sin Park has done.
Yeah, and overall, they're just playing absolutely fantastic.
Looks like we are going to actually get the game resumed, as Riven will be in a lot of trouble. She is going to get the stun off, so she is going to actually engage, and she's going to be able to do some good damage to Blitzcrank, but not able to get that wind slash off. And Blitzcrank might go down here to Volibear. Yes, he does. Red buff just a little too strong, but he will pay with it with his own life. That passive keeping him alive for a good bit of time, but the charm from Ahri just not in range. And Kennen does get a nice slow. He does pop the ultimate. Ahri does get stunned. He does get the red buff proc, and that's a dead Ahri. Volibear sneakily stealing the kill. Excellent play there by Kennen. This Kennen has been on point all game long. And they're looking very strong on the side of Sin Park. Looks like we do have an Aqua Prison hitting too, and Zyra's going to be taken very low, and no.
Varus had ulti. That was weird that he didn't shoot it.
He could have, but I don't think he wanted to waste it for just a Zyra. It was a good decision to just take the tower.
Yeah, I mean, they're so far ahead right now. I got to give props to the spotlight, though. They really did a nice job of giving Red Side a really tough time down here. And, the only thing I don't like is the Ezreal rushing the Trinity. I don't think that's the most essential item choice right now.
Looks like Volibear does get a flip on to Nami. Nami's going to be taken very low and bitten down. But they do lose top tower. Blitzcrank with a hook, but it hits a minion. And Volibear should be perfectly fine here. Or maybe not, as Blitzcrank's running super fast. Varus with the ultimate, and that will mean Volibear's taken very low and is actually taken down thanks to the Blade of the Rune King. Rengar coming in here to finish everything off. Zyra getting slaughtered, and Ezreal, no hope. But an excellent play there on the side of Sin Park. It was a decent engagement there by Force, but there was just way too many side players coming in there towards the end. Though Riven does get some free farm up top, and they will have the opportunity to push down that tower most likely, as Kennen's going to be fighting in the mid lane against Ahri, and Ahri's not going to have a good time, as Kennen does have double buff, as looking to go for likely a Zhonya's Hourglass or a Death Cap. Zhonya's would be perfect here, which means he's virtually invincible, as he's already incredibly tanky.
Yeah, and that Rengar just came out of nowhere and just exploded.
Looks like we do have an engagement in the mid lane, as Kennen will pop his ultimate, and Ahri will be able to pick him off thanks to the Ignite. I take that trade, as Kennen is probably the strongest champion in the game at this point. And it looks like we're going to have another engagement down bottom, as Ezreal does get onto Varus, but he does not get the Phage proc, so that Blade of the Rune King will save him very nicely.
Yeah, and bot lane did a pretty solid job. I really liked some of the coordination with the Volibear. I think the Volibear could have played some of the matchups a bit better. We do have another engagement going on in the jungle, though.
It looks like the Aqua Prison does land on the Volibear, as we do see Rengar running the opposite direction, and is going to be able to jump on Zyra. Zyra gets absolutely destroyed. She just does not have the health to deal with him. Nami's in a bit of trouble in the mid lane, but there's Blitzcrank there yet again, always seeming to be right on point, and a beautiful Aqua Prison will make sure that kill is secured. Looks like Volibear's going to run right into Varus, and this might not be a good engagement though, but Blitzcrank is going to be able to zone off Ezreal. And with Nami here, there's nothing this Volibear can do. Rengar in the area, able to finish him off. Excellent decision there. And this Varus is ridiculously strong. He has a ton of gold, as he is sitting at 2,300.
Oh my
Looks
god!
like Blitzcrank gets another hook, but he pays for it.
Yeah, wow. Ezreal did a nice job there. I didn't think they could do that much damage.
And it looks like we are going to have Kennen come in there to finish everything off, as Kennen just does a ridiculous amount of damage. And it looks like he is going for Death Cap next. I like the decision.
And right now, look at some of the items that just got picked up. Varus picked up an Infinity Edge, and Rengar actually got a Yomu's Ghost Blade. So some really big, and a Shard of True Eyes coming out for the support Nami. So a lot of big items. They've already been so dominant, and that's without, there's some of their big name items. So already, they're just getting more and more powerful as this game goes on.
I like the decision to go for Sword of the Divine plus Yamu's on Rengar. That just gives the highest burst potential you could possibly think of outside of an Infinity Edge. As Zyra takes a lot of damage from Kennen in that mid lane. But I think if Rengar goes for Infinity Edge now, it'll basically be game over, as he will basically one-shot everyone on the map, considering how much damage he has. It'll be just a beautiful sight if he does, but I think he'll go tanky instead.
Maybe we can see a pentakill. That'd be really fun.
Oh, definitely. I'd love to see Rengar going for it, but I think it'll be hard considering there's just a lot of damage from everyone. As Rengar is just waiting here, and he will be able to jump on Ezreal, pops the Yamus and Sword of the Divine, and not actually able to kill Ezreal. Beautiful flash, but the rest of Sin Park will be here. Kennen does pop the ultimate and chains it perfectly to make sure Volibear doesn't live. But Zyra gets a beautiful ultimate, and they are going to trade as Riven does come in here, finishing off 2, making that a decent engagement. Riven does pop the Ignite, but it is on Nami, and Nami will be okay. Riven gets a nice stun there onto Varus. Nice roots, and it will be Varus getting the best of Riven. Nice ultimate, and that will mean Zyra's going to go down. Heal comes out, and the big Nami ultimate in the area, just able to finish him off. A little too far behind on the side of Force, but a good engagement, and I like the idea. They just overextended a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, they got the 2 kills, but they was a really nice job. You know, Ezreal did somehow by, you know, I don't know, a miracle, get away from Rengar without dying. And then Riven was able to come in and with a nice combo followed with a Zyra ulti. And they got a double kill. They just got kind of greedy at the end there, chased it, and wound up, you know, kind of, you know, decreasing all the momentum they were slowly getting.
Yeah, it was a good idea. They, as you said, they just went a little too far and didn't realize, oh, this Varus now has an Infinity Edge and a Zeal and is basically the strongest champion on the map now, with possible exception of Rengar and Kennen, but they're both on his team, so I think he'll be happy with that. Blitzcrank going to come in the mid lane and try and jump onto Ahri, but he does actually pull in Riven instead, and it's a little bit of trouble for him, but he's a little too fast, as he is really moving around that map with the overdrive and boots of mobility.
You know, and I've just been looking, because I'm curious, you know, I don't know a lot about Nami players, but that W heals for a very, very nice amount. That Blitzcrank got healed for 230, so I did not know Nami's, you know, heal was, it has really good, you know, ratios for support.
So we are going to have engage here as Zyra does land a nice set of roots on a Blitzcrank, and he will be taken out. But trading for a tower, not a terrible engage. Rengar has popped his ultimate, and he's going to look to jump in. No, he's not. He gets away just in time, but I was spotted out. Nami with a tidal wave gets a nice slows. Kennen comes in from behind. Beautiful ultimate on 5, and that is a dead Force. That Kennen ultimate, ridiculous.
Give him the penta! Give him the penta!
Yes, they give Kennen the penta kill.
He called
excellent.
It! And we got it!
You called it. You called it. That was some excellent play by Kennen. Excellent play. Beautiful Kennen pentakill. And that was just chaining those ultimates together. There was nothing Force could do at this point. They're a little too far behind. And Kennen just a little too strong with that early death cap. Beautiful, beautiful showing by Sin Park. And this is just the snowball effect. Force played well early on. They just got snowballed a little too hard by that Blitzcrank. And it just got out of control.
And I don't speak Spanish, so all I see is caramel and Oreo. Not sure I want to know what that's going on there. But, you know, it was really interesting because Rengar had popped his ulti and he was itching to fight there. And he, you know, he just did not find that position. And Nami hit a tidal wave that wound up hitting all of them. And then Kennen and Rengar kind of, you know, flanked them from behind and Kennen ulted in and was able to pick up our sought after pentakill. A great job coming in. And I think one more team fight is going to seal the fate for the blue side. Overall, they are down, you know, about, I don't know, 20k gold now. And Blitzcrank beating a Ezreal 1v1 is never a good sign.
But no, Blitzcrank doesn't win. Tower's a little too strong, and Varus is going to come down here and try and finish it off. But there is some engagement here. No, Zyra not going to get in range. Blitzcrank getting a little too greedy. I don't blame him. His team's up. They just got a pentakill. They're in great spirits. And this Blitzcrank has done so well this game. I like the decision. I'd like to see more jungle Blitzcrank. You'd have to play him in the right team comp where you don't have a top laner or a mid laner that needs blue buff. But other than that, I think you can use him. Rengar does jump in there on Riven and does a massive amount of damage, but he does get caught out. Nami with a beautiful ultimate, and Rengar's in a lot of trouble and will be taken out here by Ezreal. Looks like Ahri's going to come in there and jump onto Kennen. Kennen going to go down. And this is the start of a comeback for Force.
Yeah, and they're just kind of getting a little overzealous for, you know, Red. Kind of just hanging out. You know, this game isn't over. They have a lot of damage on blue side. If they can start getting some kills and build into the items, you know, I don't think red side should take it so lightly.
Oh, definitely. Because they have the team that can come back. Ezreal's getting to that point where he can really carry a team. Ahri's getting tanky enough where she can jump around these fights and spam out her skills. And Riven is just short of that runic bulwark. where she could really make something happen. It's not over yet. And we're seeing Force make a nice push up the mid lane.
And,
I think we're going to see them take another tower before having to back.
And all of Red, I mean, they're all...
Looks like we are going to have Volibear flash in there, but a beautiful Aqua Prison stops it. Riven is pulled in by Blitzcrank, but they aren't going to be able to finish anything off, as Blitzcrank's just a little too tanky.
Yeah, and, nice job there. They picked up a few turrets, some kills. The problem is the red side is really squishy.
Looks like Blitzcrank is going to be picked off here, but Varus is going to be able to take the bottom inhibitor. And I think that's what they're just waiting for. Rengar coming in, and he will get the Shard of True Ice on him as he does jump on his Zyra. And this is a pretty big win here, as we do see Varus continue to push down this bottom lane. And it looks like he's going to be in a bit of trouble, though, as Ezreal does flash and does have that red buff. Ahri's going to jump in there, getting some nice slows, and it is a Varus taken out.
Yep, and Ezreal's been hit every single ulti. I haven't seen him miss anything. So, little out of position there. Nice job by Ahri and Ezreal. I don't think they're even going to be able to get these turrets. I don't know how powerful or not, but wow, Kennen's doing a lot of damage to these turrets.
Yeah, it's that Let's Play problem. Volibear's back up, and he's doing a lot of damage, but he is going to be taken out. He doesn't have the backup. Ezreal is here to try and help, but they just were a little late. Nice hit there by Ahri, but the Aqua Prison's a little too much, and Ezreal's forced back. Kennen going to be doing a lot of damage with every single one of his Qs. And it's a nice comeback there by Force, but just a little too late.
Yeah, and I think overall they're just kind of, not to be mean, but they're kind of toying with him right now. I think they just need to group up. And oh my god!
Ouch. That Rengar does a lot of damage. He is about to pick up his Infinity Edge. And yeah, they are toying with him a little bit, but they're making a lot of... But this could happen in any game where you just get a little too greedy and that comeback happens. Kennen in a bit of trouble. Windslash just out of range, but Ezreal will get the slowdown and not able to finish Kennen off. But no, he actually does. Kennen doesn't try and run away. Tries to actually fight it. Zyra in a bit of trouble, but Blitzcrank is going to be even more as Zyra does actually get the escape. Double kill by Ezreal. And this is his opportunity to pick up that next set of items. You can pick up an Infinity Edge or a Last Whisper. You can make a comeback. It's not going to be easy, but you can make it.
Yeah, I mean, I get the red side is ahead, but you can't just delay a game so much. I mean, if you let these guys get their items, Twin Shadows and Infinity Edge, oh, that's the other team. Never mind. That Rengar now has Infinity Edge. But once again, I really don't feel like Red should be trying. Either group up, team fight, and finish it, because they're really, they're testing their luck a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially now that Baron's up, they easily go run over there and take Baron. Looks like Rengar has popped his ultimate and is going to be able to jump in there, but no. Nice use of the Blade of the Rune King to save Varus from getting pulled in. And this should definitely be Sen Park running for Baron, easily taking it out, and then going for that death blow. Yeah,
and Rengar, I'm really interested. He was already doing so much earlier. Now that he has an Infinity Edge, I mean, he's just going to just explode. And now their red side's being demanded to, rather blue side's demanding red to surrender because, they got that big advantage on them. But,
oh, yeah, just a bit of trolling around. Blitzcrank is going to be caught out again, and he's a little too greedy, but here comes Kennen with a big ultimate. Nice tied away by Nami, and Kennen's going all beast mode, and that should be good game. There we go. That's just them grouping up and saying, we're going to end it. Excellent play there by Sen Park.
Yeah, and just the finishing shots on all of that. Too much damage. They got just too far behind early.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Force played pretty well. They just made those few early mistakes that kind of snowballed the game. And that was it.
The Blitz did a fantastic job of getting those first two and starting the momentum for his team. And from there, Rengar, we saw that nice flash, finishing off Ezreal. Overall, a really nice, beautiful job. We got to see our pentakill. We got to see some fantastic, interesting comps coming out. That is going to be our last game that we will be casting for today. If you enjoyed any of these games, you guys saw what these guys' team names are, give them some support. I don't know their Facebook or Twitters, but I'm sure if you just went and looked under those names for their teams, they could definitely appreciate the support. I am Gherkin. I have been here with Pander. It has been an honor and a fun time casting with you. You have anything else to say for these guys?
Nope, just thank you for letting us cast this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope to see you again. It was really nice to see some interesting builds, some different things come out there, and it really will help these teams learn in the future.
Yep. And do you have anywhere they can follow you at, Pander?
Check out my YouTube page at PanderNyrl. I'll type it in chat in just a moment. YouTube.com/PanderNyrl. YouTube's the best source. I've never figured out Twitter just yet, but that's something I'm going to try and learn. What about you?
I just have a Twitter. It's at Jordan Haber. I will type that in the chat as well. It has been really fun. I really enjoyed seeing our pentakill. And anytime you guys will want anyone to cast, I am around. Pander's here. All of us at NESL are always around to cast anything for you guys. We have a lot of great casters, so anytime you need one, we are around as well.
Yep, we'll lead you off with a commercial. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the NESL Pro Scrims for League of Legends. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more, follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below.